So today I will be building a gaming PC for a friend of mine. He asked me actually last year to put one together for him. He had a budget of around like $350, but he kind of shied away from it. But it's now 2020, and he's just asking me, "Hey, can you build me a PC?" And he actually has a bigger budget now, and this is about a $600 system, or at least it should be. I'll tell you why a little bit later. But how about we go over the parts? So for the CPU, I found the Ryzen 5 1600 AF. That's basically, it's supposed to be a 2600, but what happened was they just didn't meet quality control or something like that. But anyway, this basically is a 2600 for only $85. That's 6 cores, 12 threads. I don't know the base and boost clocks off the top of my head, but this should be a perfect chip for this system. He wants to game at around 144 Hz, so this will definitely drive the graphics card. Anyway, for the motherboard, I went with the Gigabyte B450M DS3H. This is the cheapest one I could find at the time. It cost like $73, so it wasn't the best value to micro ATX board, but it does have 4 DIMM slots, so it will be upgradable later on. It should be able to handle up to like a Ryzen 5 3600. For storage, I went with a PNY, just basic 120 gig SSD. This will be for Windows and along with some basic apps like your game launchers and Chrome, so this should be perfect for that. But I do have a 1 TB hard drive over here from Seagate. This should be plenty for some games, and you can always upgrade later. For the graphics card, I went with the GeForce GTX 1660 Super. Now this was the best option in my opinion, as it was about half the budget actually, about almost $300. It was like $240, but this will get around RTX 2060 performance, but for a little bit cheaper. It's a 6 GB card. I think the 1660 Ti outperforms it, but there's like 3 different ones, but this should be okay. And he is trying to game at 144 Hz, so this should be able to run most, esports games along with some others, no problem. And for the power supply, I chose the Seasonic S12550. This is the best one I could find. I wanted to get something that, is quiet. He wants the system to be, fairly quiet. It has an 80 plus bronze rating. It's got 550 watts, and you should be able to upgrade no problem down the line. 5-year warranty. Seasonic makes great power supplies. And for RAM, how can we forget about that? 16 gigabytes of Vulcan Z Team Group RAM, and if you can see the specs right there. It's a 2 by 8 gigabyte kit with 3000 megahertz speeds. Not the tightest, timings, but it should be good for what he's trying to achieve here. And over here we have some extras. I have a 120 millimeter fan I just pulled out. I think I'm gonna install it in the front for extra, intake, airflow. Got some RGB strips, and I do plan on attempting to do a vertical mount. This one I was gonna use in my system, but it didn't work out because my CPU cooler is absolutely massive. But yeah, I'm gonna try and do that just, to fill in that empty space. As the case is this Fantex P300A, which you'll see a little bit more of later, but it does support vertical GPUs right out of the box, so you don't have to do any modifying. This is a solid case, and instead of the P300, which just has the flat intake, this one actually has mesh, so it will be much better for airflow. But I think that's gonna wrap it up, so let's go ahead and put this together, get Windows installed, and see how it performs. Okay, well, as you can see, the build is complete. It came out pretty nice. I kind of went with just a neutral color scheme, and I want to try out this RGB. I know there's going to be fairly minimal actual control because it's just a 12-volt header, but we'll see. I don't even know if I put it in the right way. It's not actually labeled. One thing I don't like is the worst like cable ever made, like the USB 3 connector. It's kind of bulky, but it turned out okay. And the SATA cables, they are so like are just sticking out instead of being like a right angle one like I usually see on some other boards. But that again worked out okay. And as you can see, I added a 120 millimeter fan. While this does only have one fan header, I actually stole a splitter from my own system and split it with the rear fan. And cable management also went fairly well. It was actually a lot easier than I anticipated. As you can see there's the SSD. The hard drive's in the front. That was a bit of a hassle, but I got it under control. But yeah, it already has these pre-installed Velcro straps, which is a really nice touch. And it was honestly all just plug and play. It didn't require that much effort, honestly. You have the A pin right there and the PCIe power. And unfortunately, for the graphics card, I could not get the vertical mount to work. The riser cable, it was hitting the power supply shroud, and even on the highest PCI expansion slots, it still hit the bottom with the graphics card installed. And this card honestly doesn't look too bad. It would have been nice to see, but oh well, the system still looks pretty good if you ask me. So let's unplug my actual PC over here and see if we can boot it up and test it out. The build is a success and performs beautifully. It has no issue playing esports games and will run AAA titles with no issue. A few days later, my friend picked it up and he is now a part of the PC Master Race. This system should last him a while and there's plenty of upgrade room. In total, the system costs shy of $650, though there was a mail-in rebate for the graphics card. Anyways, if you're looking to build a similarly spec system, if you want to save a buck, the 1070 is around the performance, the GTX 1660 Super, Ti, or 2060, and if you can find it used for cheap, it's a good alternative. I think Brighton is going to really enjoy using his PC for years to come. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get back to you. If you did enjoy the video, hit that like button, but if not, you know where to go. While you're there, consider subscribing to the channel and enable notifications for more quality tech videos. Anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you later.